A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John, chapter 5, verses 1 to 16. There was a festival of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now in Jerusalem, by the sheep gate, there is a pool, called in Hebrew Bethzatha, which has 5 porticos. In this lay many invalids, blind, lame, and paralyzed. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up, and while I am making my way, someone else slips down ahead of me." Jesus said to him, "Stand up, take your mat, and walk." At once the man was made well, and he took up his mat and began to walk. Now that day was the Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who had been cured, "It is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for you to carry your mat." But he answered them, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Take up your mat and walk.'" They asked him, "Who is the man who said to you, 'Take it up and walk'?" Now the man who had been healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had disappeared in the crowd that was there. Later Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "See, you have been made well. Do not sin anymore, so that nothing worse happens to you." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. Therefore, the Jews started persecuting Jesus because he was doing such things on the Sabbath. The Gospel of the Lord.
Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today's Gospel reading from John chapter 5, verses 1 to 16 recounts the story of a man who had been sick for 38 years and was lying by the pool of Bethesda, hoping to be healed. When Jesus saw him lying there, he asked him if he wanted to be healed. The man replied that he had no one to help him into the pool when the water was stirred, but Jesus simply told him to get up, pick up his mat, and walk. This miracle performed by Jesus is a powerful reminder of the healing power of faith. The man who had been sick for so long had faith that if he could just get into the pool when the water was stirred, he would be healed. And even though he did not have anyone to help him, his faith remained strong. It was his faith that led him to be healed by Jesus. This miracle also highlights the compassion and mercy of Jesus. He did not require the man to perform any special rituals or make any sacrifices. He simply asked the man if he wanted to be healed, and when he said yes, Jesus healed him. This shows us that Jesus is always ready and willing to heal us, no matter how long we have been sick or how difficult our situation may seem. But the story does not end there. The man who had been healed by Jesus was later confronted by the religious leaders of his day, who were upset that he had been healed in the Sabbath. This shows us that even when we are healed and blessed by God, we may still face opposition and persecution from those who do not understand or accept our faith. So, my dear brothers and sisters, let us learn from this gospel reading today Let us have faith in the power of Jesus, and let us trust in His compassion and mercy. And let us not be discouraged by those who may oppose or persecute us for our faith, but instead, let us continue to trust in God and live out our faith with courage and conviction. May the Lord bless you and keep you always. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.